Hello everyone, my name's Brian. I'll be doing my first TouchDesigner tutorial today. Um, what we're trying to learn today is basically how to turn an audio device in or an audio file in to create a nice audio reactive piece combining lasers and projectors using the new points operators by TouchDesigner called pops. So let's get started and start over here. Cool. All right. So I'm going to use the audio device in as my audio reactive sound. You can also always, of course, use an audio file in and add a wave or MP3 as you please. So we're going to put a null here, and then we're going to go to the tools and grab the... Where are you? There you are, audio analysis. Cool. And then let's use the high today, but we'll unlock both of those. Oh, and let's turn the threshold down just a little bit. Cool. All right, now let's add another null, add a select. Okay, and then let's just select the high here. Nice. All right. And now we want to get into like a waveform so that it can be traced by our laser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a record chop and I'm going to put segment so that it's taking only the most recent 1 second segment of I'm talking. As you can see right here, it's changing with my voice. And now we're going to add one thing to add some nice effects to that. We're going to add a script chop. We can delete this. We can delete this. So it's just an on cook. Okay. So let's change this to script chop. Okay. And now we're going to do input chop equals script chop dot inputs, because we are grabbing the first channel, and then let's do chop. Cool. And our goal for the script is basically to change that wave you were seeing earlier into, or make the end and the beginning values always be 0. And then we're going to mirror it so that the audio wave starts in the middle and then feeds outward in both directions and add this kind of nice ripple effect to our laser. So equals list chan dot vowels and equals len vowels. Okay, and now we're going to do this for the beginning. 0 vowels. Yeah, vowel 0 equals 0. And then for the end, vowels -1 equals 0. And now they should always be 0 in the beginning and the end. So now we're going to add the mirroring effect. Let's do high since we're using the high. Oops, can't spell today. High equals n2 for I in range 1 high. Vowels -1 minus I colon equals vowels I. Cool. And then if n2 equals 0 and n is greater than 2 vowels high equals vowels high minus 1. And last line, script chop dot append chan dot name dot vowels equals vowels. Let's see. Okay, and I think if we just do that, there we go. Perfect. So you can see it's always 0 on the ends. It is starting from the middle, and we have 61 frames, or 60 frames total, meaning for the 1 second, because I'm at 60 FPS. So now what we're going to do is add a null. Actually, before that, I'm going to add a math, and I typically, there's a few ways to do this, but I use a math, and I like to add the multiply to a MIDI, and you can kind of adjust how loud it gets, and you can kind of use that to add some effect to your laser or your projector, or I guess both. So now we're gonna right click at the end there. We're gonna do chop to, and now we're in pop form, but we have a caution because we're grabbing all the points. We only have one channel, so we want to grab the y-axis. So we're gonna do parentheses 1. So P0 would be the X, P1 would be the Y, and P2 would be the Z. So we're going to just grab the Y. And now what we're going to do is, now what we're going to do is just kind of grab a null, because we'll put some stuff in between here in a second. We're gonna split off now. I'm going to go to the laser first. And we're going to do attribute. I'm going to keep the color, just do that maybe light blue that we had earlier. Null. And then TouchDesigner also added to the pangolin chop, the option of doing, where are you, pangolin chop? Of doing pop as well. So you no longer have to do sop or chop. You can also just completely just go to pop first. So there you go. You can see the laser immediately got activated as I did that, because I have beyond open. I'll slide that in now. A beyond open here. So you got to enable the laser up here and also enable it here. And you can kind of see the output I'm getting here. This is what the laser is seeing. It's basically TouchDesigner sending this to Beyond, and then Beyond is now sending this to the laser. And the reason it's getting cut off and not going above my ceiling is because I mapped it to this box or square, and it can't leave the square, just for safety for the main part. But yeah, let's close that. Let's just slide this back to my other monitor. Let's just minimize it. It's acting weird. Okay, and now we're gonna set up our projector. So what I had earlier was just kind of a nice simple trail effect. So we're gonna add the very handy trail pop that has been added, and I'm gonna switch it from rows to columns. So you can kind of see that nice little wavy effect we're getting. But we don't want to do a whole second. That seems a little much. Change this to 0.5. And we want to kind of add an effect that goes backwards, or recedes backwards. We're going to go like 0.6. And now you can see it's kind of flying backwards here. So we got that nice effect now. I'm going to add a null. And now we're going to set up our 2D space. We're going to do geometry, camera, light. And let's get that render. And I did 1080. Okay. And like I said, I'll get into it in another video, but this is just how I had it mapped. I know. So I got 244 on the camera. Let's add maybe a nice little feedback to this. add a little blur to 13 maybe. 13, yeah. And then, whoops. Okay, sorry. And then a level. Don't want to make it full. Cool. And then comp it. Oops. Reference it. Okay, and now let's add some color to this. Let's do the line, null it, and then let's make it a little bit brighter in the front. And a little bit darker in the back. Reference it. Material. Cool, and let's see what we got. I'm not seeing anything for some reason. Hello? That's weird. Hello? There we go. And it goes away. Let's see why. Oh, it's because it's on multiply. Whoops. Cool. Let's bring that back down. All right. So now we can see a nice little blur right here. And then let's add a window so we can add this to here. And now native. Boom. And before we do that, I had to open my other file so that I could grab the mapping I did, because I will not be doing that today. So I'll tell you what I did though. I refit it back to, when I'm done with all the visual effects, I sent it back to 1920 1080, which is my projector, as you can see here. And then I corner pinned it to my square. Let's add this here. And then we're gonna do 2 native. Okay, cool. Okay, and that should, yeah, great. You can see it above me. Let's add a nice little bit more of a visual touch to it. So let's do copy. What we saw earlier. We're gonna do 2. And we're gonna rotate it 180. And now we should have a, oh, that's way too big. And let's do an audio file so that it's consistently going. Cool. Nice. Maybe turn this down a little bit and then add a bloom could be fun. Yeah. But there's a lot of playing around you can do to this. You can, of course, change the colors. You can even maybe add a little bit of a lag. Let's add the lag. Let's add the lag here. Yeah, this will smooth things out a little bit. You can see it's not as sharp edges. And then this file will be on my Patreon. I will put this probably also in like a tox form where I'll have parameters where you can change the colors altogether. You can have the math and a parameter. I'll just make it a little bit more cleaned up for y'all to use. But yeah, that'll be on my Patreon, which will be in the link below. But that's about all I have for you today. Let me know if you have any questions. Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up in the comments and YouTube or Patreon, and I'll try and get back as quickly as possible. But yeah, thank you so much for watching.